Okay,
We think we're back.
I think we're up and running. So we're in a new stream now. So if you were in the old stream, come across to this one. This should be a second one. Can I confirm in here, can we all hear audio and have video? All right, in the meantime, we're just going to hop back in to our channel and see if we can direct people back to where we need to be. Now we're doing YouTube Live, Mrs. Waring.
Can I just talk to Mr. Cranmer for a minute,
Yeah,
Dan?
come and wave.
Sure.
Hi, Year 6. Hope you're all at home working hard.
It's on a little bit of a delay, so it'll pick you up.
Oh, will it?
Yes.
Just if you could.
Okay.
I think that's one that you
So
are
that should be
after.
up and running there now. Get people back to where we need to be. All right. Beautiful. That one.
From,
Okay, let's see who we've got here.
Oh, beauty.
so,
Right.
I'll forward that to you.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you
So
wanted to
we've got a few people back in now. Good.
I'll send it to you anyway.
Do we have video now? Yeah. Sound. Yes, we've got video. Beautiful. Sound? Have we got sound? We've got video. They said hello to Mrs. Waring. Video and sound. Good to go. We worked it out eventually. Okay. It's a little bit confusing being on the stream, so I'm actually going to just do this to make our life a bit easier. So, guys, we'll run with a few questions and things in a minute. But we basically just want to get the chat up and running so we can see that as well. So let's go through and see who we've got. We've got Perolini, must be Eva, Rat. So Rat, we spoke about before. Rat, can you tell us who you are? We need some names. So when you're writing a message, if you don't have a name in your username, can you make sure that you put your name in there, please? So that way we know who's talking to us.
Yep, Chris is in there. So there's a slight delay from what we've got.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing on screen and what we're hearing and doing is quite a delay actually. It's probably about a good 10-second. Hello to Zeeb, I see you.
Any people that are in the other stream, they can come back across to this one. The other one should be gone by now.
Yeah, McKenna's there.
Izzy, good morning.
Damien.
Mativa.
Arson, right, Arson. Good to see who Connor Graham is.
And Rat is Alvy. Thank you, Alvy.
Andre.
Now we're not going to remember that, so you might need to put your name in there each time. Okay.
McKenna Mills.
Easy. Good. Okay. Tapper and Charlie J, good morning. Kieran, good morning. Lily, Izzy, Andre, Chris, Kalea, beautiful. All right, it's all happening. Mariette, that must be Shaylin there, I think. Damien's got no delay. Damien, we've got a delay from what we can see. So we can see your live chat coming through, but on our own video, it's a bit delayed. Naman, Jacob, good morning. Alicia, good morning. Joseph T.
Oh, great.
Been looking for you, Joseph Trad. Joseph, can you just confirm you've been able to hop on your emails and everything? Obviously, you've got our YouTube, but can you just let us know? Rahana, good morning. Tyler again, hello. Anna Kanowski, that must be Joe. Hello, Joe.
We do want you all to connect up with your emails, your school emails, and so that's your normal login with your username at school. So when you log on to the computers at school, that's your username at eq.edu. Some of you have activated that and have been emailing us to let us know. We want to be able to start sending through materials to there. That way we're not tying up all of your parents with their emails as well. So see if you can get that up and running and keep letting us know when you're in there. So we've had about 15 people so far who've said that, but we want everybody up and running. And that way I'm going to also email out your Study Ladder and Manga High passwords, usernames for that. And I'll start on that process today after we finish up this one. Don't forget, ask any questions as well if there's anything that you'd like to know.
This is an important one. So the reason that we had today was firstly just to touch base with everybody and get this up and running so we know how to do these live ones because they are quite helpful. But if you have any questions about what's going on, pop them in the chat there so we can try to answer them live. Sarah say that would be Deja, I think. Hi, Deja. So yeah, any questions about anything that hasn't been working for you so far? Does everybody have access to the work? Did you get the emails yesterday? Let's see some confirmation. So Chris, Mr. Cran, my OneNote isn't working. Yeah, Chris, OneNote has been playing up all week, basically. There's a lot of people using it, buddy, so don't worry too much about the OneNote for the moment. If you can get on, great, because everything will be on there, but otherwise just rely on our emails that come through each day for the next day's work, and then use the YouTube channel for our lesson run-throughs. That should keep us covered.
I reckon have a go at OneNote on the weekend when all the traffic's less busy. And I think if you leave it open once you have it open, that might be the best way to be able to continue accessing it. Because if you close it, the next time you try to get in might have a lot more trouble. Now, we haven't managed to make contact with...
Back up and running. Yeah. Okay, we're still live though. Where is OBS Studios? No, that's gone. It's disappeared. Still down there running.
Anyway, we'll probably go offline again very soon.
So I see from the middle class
Okay,
and they're
up and running.
last class and they were using computers in class.
Yeah, our kids get on the iPads here and there, but otherwise we're using live teaching.
Oh,
So there's
okay.
always problems, folks.
But we're using it.
But looks like we're getting there, and hopefully this stream should be back through there now. We're going to see what's happening with the chat, see if it can reload. Okay. Mr. Kelsey stares intensely into the camera. Yes, I do, buddy. Yes, I do. Okay. Yep, guys, we're actually probably a lot worse at this than what you are. In fact, that is the case. So bear in mind, we're trying to work it out as we go. I think we're back. If we are back, just give us it's back. There we go. We back. Good stuff. You beauty. All right.
There's a question there. What is a OneNote?
Okay.
OneNote's one of the programs that we're using on the computer. Sorry, our live stream is delayed again. I just had Mr. Kelsey staring intently, as Chris said before. In your emails that go to your school account, there's a link to OneNote, and it's the site that we're putting a lot of the. But of course, because the demand's been so high, you haven't been really able to access it, and so that's why we access through. Now, I'm not sure if Mr. Kelsey's about to show you what OneNote looks like on the screen, is he?
On the screen?
Oh,
no,
or
not going
no,
that far.
even-
Oh, on here.
Well, you can do it there.
Yeah. So if you're on a mobile device, that is, and you go in, it's this little icon here, which is there. Hopefully you can see that little OneNote. And when we go in on our mobile device, it'll be something like this. We're going into year 6, and we've got our options on that side. Now, this will look much more different to what you might see on your computer. And what we can do is, if we find that OneNote is up and running again, we can get, we'll upload a video to YouTube actually showing you screen capture on how it actually goes through. And so that way we can show you I guess, piece by piece how you actually access OneNote. But like we said, don't worry about OneNote too much at the moment because we've been having some troubles with it. So that's been a bit of a problem with it. We're just focusing on the emails.
Right, Damien's OneNote is working, so if you can use OneNote, feel free to do that because there's actually a whole lot of other things there on OneNote that you can access that we aren't sending through in the email. Mrs. Nudes put a lot of audio stories and so forth on there, so there's a whole lot of really good things on there in addition to what we're putting up on YouTube. Okay.
Who's Oxmate? So I've Office 2013 and OneNote overrode the rest of your Office, so you had to remove it. Yeah, even the 2016 version didn't work particularly well, so you just have to download the new Office version. But you can use the online one, so the invitation would take you to the web version. So if you just go to OneNote into Google, it should take you to the web version, if not a downloadable version. So you can use that, but again, you don't have to. We are sending the workout via email. Working offline for 3 days. Good stuff, Chris. I don't have any English or maths lessons sent. So Damien, you are in OneNote. Can you access the folders for English and maths? So when you go in there, can you see that in Content Library? Can you see the folders for English and maths? Yeah, cool, Andre. Yep, great.
We'll also check your email, Damien, to see if we need to send it through there as well.
Real NH, so Noah Hall. Yep, OneNote's working. That's great, mate. Good stuff, buddy. Yeah, Izzy's is working. Cool. This is really good, guys. Thanks for that. That's good confirmation. So as Mr. Cran said, use OneNote if you can, and if it's working. If you don't, just use what we send through in the email. What is a OneNote? Amiga. So that Bronwyn, is that you? So OneNote is the program that we go through via our invitation that we should have sent out. So if you log into your EQ login, the one that you would do at school, normally there should be an invitation sitting in there to click on, and that will take you. It's Eva here. Okay.
Through all of the Microsoft things, we've got Microsoft Word, you've got Excel, you've got PowerPoint. OneNote's just another one of those applications through there, but it's the one that allows us to store a whole lot of things on it for you to access. So your invitation through that email allows you to log in and then click on all of those things. And remember, it's the content library for those people who are going on there. Access it through the content library only. No, I don't mind either which way. Yeah, that's cool.
Very good. So can I have a bit of a show of hands with your typing? Who is here today has not been able to access your email? So not mum and dad's email, but your own email in webmail. Let us know. Yep. So Rahana, your OneNote's working great. Tapper and Charlie are struggling. Yep, that's okay. To Tapper and Charlie, do you guys have access to your webmail? So can you log into EQ webmail using your normal school login? Does that work? Oxmate, can we get a name with your messages? Was that Arton, was it? Okay. Yep, Deja's working. Great. Chris's is working. We've been sending emails to my webmail, just the parents. Yep, that's okay, McKenna. We've been sending it mainly to Dad, so I've been talking to Dad a bit, and he responded this morning. So we will be sending stuff out to you guys soon, but we've just been dealing with Mum and Dad first.
So the more of you who get your own EQ emails up and running, the better. So hopefully it was working when I was talking before, but don't forget that's where you use your normal username for logging onto the computers at school. That is the email with eq.edu or at eq.edu.au at the end.
Charlie and Dakota.
And the password should be Tagum with a capital T, Tagum123. If that doesn't work, try Tagum1234. And if it's not working, then we can still reset it from school so that you can get a new password. So that's easy enough.
Okay. Sorry, Arden, yet you are Chrono Home. That's very creative, mate. Good work. Yeah, cool. So Rahana, yours is working, wonderful. Yours isn't, Tazeeb, that's okay. It's probably a traffic issue. So if it's not working at the moment, but you've got the invitation, it's probably just a traffic issue, which means it's just too busy.
All right, so Eva needs her EQ webmail address.
Oh, yep, okay,
I'll find that.
no worries. So Eva, we'll get your webmail address. Mr. Crane's going to get that for you now. Chris, we don't need too much Spanish in here, please, son. Stick to it in English, thanks. Don't need to be confusing. It's hard enough as it is. Mrs. Hobbs, how are you? You want to say hi? Mrs. Hobbs is here as well.
Hi everybody. Hope it's all going well for you at home.
We've had a few little cameos along the way. Oh yeah, it might not have been. We had Mr. Fisher here earlier, but we don't know if it was recording. So yeah, I don't think we've worked it out yet. Okay, what have we got? I have to get on early for my work before everyone gets on. Yeah. Going through. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. There's a few questions here. So back up to Rahana. Tapper and Charlie tried. We'll try later. Great. That's wonderful. I've gotten Charlie Indicators work hard copies. Beautiful. That will keep them covered with the YouTube channel for Oxmate. Thank you. Rahana, that's a great idea, as Mr. Cran said. So if you hop on nice and early, that should be heaps easier for you to get through, or later in the day. First thing in the morning is going to be busy. Wonderful. Tuala's being sorted. Excellent. Only got English and maths stuff. Rachel Shaw for Jacob. Does this matter now you're sending daily emails? Not so much at this stage. Jacob, did you send your, did you get hard copies, Jacob, or did you, are you using OneNote? Can you let us know? Because the hard copies had English and maths, but under maths there was science and HASS and all those other things in that same booklet. Is the webmail then hand working? Okay. How they're hand working? This is a good one. We've had a couple of people ask how they're handing working. For the moment, they're not, at least for this week. So we're focusing on this week, just getting the work out to everybody to make sure they have the work available. And then we'll worry about that hopefully at the start of next week. And we just need a simple system. So we're working on a couple of ideas. Every idea we've had so far hasn't worked particularly well, but we're getting there. So bear with us on the marking front. There's no pressure for you guys to mark that work at the moment. Those YouTube run-throughs will do the job for the meantime. All good? Bronwyn, yep, thought it might have been Bronwyn. So yeah, webmail will likely be one of the options that we do take in terms of handing work in. But again, there's not a huge requirement to do a lot of that just yet because it just becomes a little bit more tricky. Joe, your email isn't working. Did you try your webmail login? So the one we gave you, and then that password that everybody had. Okay. How do I open my email? Tazeeb, go to Google and type in EQ webmail and go on the first link, and then you type in your normal login that you would use at school. Damien, you guys aren't social distancing. Thank you, Damien. We're doing our best. The webcam's only so big. We're actually 7 meters apart, so it's deceptive on the camera angle. Eva. So Eva, you wanted your login. We're not going to provide passwords, but Eva, I'll pop your login here. In fact, we might just email that out to Mum and Dad. Yep. So Eva, we'll email that out to you. We're just making sure that we're not passing stuff off too much as well. Where are we? Okay, Damien and Chris, you need to keep the chat on track, please. Falling a little bit behind here. Let's work our way through. Joseph T, Dad gets emails, but try my own. Yeah, Joseph, that'd be great. Wonderful. Okay, haven't gotten emails or work. Dana, was that Alicia from memory? Can you confirm, Alicia? Craig is Oxmate. Wonderful. Hi, Mrs. Hobbs. We've got a hi, Mrs. Hobbs. Eva said hi. Okay, Alicia, if that's you in there somewhere, we don't have an email contact for you. So we can send it to yours, Alicia, but can you send us through an email for mum or dad in the chat, please? That would be handy. Okay, again, Chris and Damien, can you keep the chat on track, please? Are you at school? Yes, we're at school. Noah, we're in Mr. Cran's classroom. Stream isn't working. Is the stream still working? Should be. Seems to be going fine. Yeah, all good. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mrs. Hobbs. Okay. Yeah, Damien's all good. Thanks, Damien. That's come through. That's wonderful. Mrs. Noon is away today. She's at home, but she should be back tomorrow. Where are we? Chris, you need to pull your chat back a little bit, please. Otherwise, we might have to ask you to step out for a little bit. We're trying to be helpful as best we can here. Millsy, McKenna, are we going to do live streams every day? Probably not. So we'll definitely do a couple of them, and we'll let you know either via email or in the daily welcome when we will do them. But yeah, we'll do a couple of them. Now we know how to do them. They're quite handy, I think. At least once a week, but maybe a couple, depending on what's happening. Noah wants to come back to school. Miguel, I've done the majority of the work over the school holidays. What do you recommend I do? That's a good question, Miguel. You shouldn't have done that. Okay, so mate, we mapped out the work for first couple of weeks, and it was designed to be done in the first couple of weeks. So if you work your way through it, we have Study Ladder and Manga High to continue on with some work in the meantime. But please, buddy, when we're sending our work out, don't rush through it. We speak about that at school. It's the same at home. Make sure that you are, I mean, it's good to get through your work, but there's no pressure for you to get that stuff done soon, because you're going to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs, wondering what to do. Amiga Tuala, that was Bronwyn, I think. Do you have to have OneNote? No, you don't. If you're able to, you can try, but you do not have to. Sorry, guys, I'm trying my best to keep up with the chat, but that's okay. We'll get there.
Don't forget we can review the video and answer some of these.
Yeah, after the fact, so you can check back as well. Rahana, yesterday I did only English and maths because OneNote did not work. That's all right. All good. Arton, you've got it working. Alakay, how you going, dude? Alvi, it's working. Great, it is. So more people have got it working. Wonderful. Cool. Thanks, Mativa, for sending that through. That's great. So, Mativa, your email is working. Joe, thanks for letting us know. Cool. So, Andre, you did all your work on schedule. You're a legend, buddy. Well done. So, Alicia wants to know, will my own email work? It should. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to start sending stuff through to your own emails. So I'm actually trying to work out a list of the people who do have their emails up and running. And then we can start transferring it across to those emails more than your parents' ones. But that's going to happen a little by little over time. So once I get my list up and running, we'll get that as a group email sent out and keep adding you to that. I've just sent an email through, Eva, to your parents' email, which has the details for Study Ladder, Manga High, and your EQ webmail.
I need a couple of names. Chandra Balakrishnan, sorry, who has said Manga High. Can I get a name with that for the student? And Naroy Saman, talking to Joseph T. Who is that? Who are we talking to there? We need names, guys. So yeah, we know most of them, but that's all right. It might have been Joseph. Sorry, it is you, Joseph. Not talking to Joseph. Never mind. All good. Okay. Someone new yesterday. My OneNote Galaxy of Plays. My OneNote said trying to log in at 4 p.m. to try logging in. That might have been a Mativa. Cool. Thanks, Mativa. That might have been a strange thing that happened there. Who is Galaxia Plays? We'll get a name with that. Yep, Alicia. Alicia Warren, Alicia 8. That must be hers. So, Alicia, is that your email or is that mum or dad's email? Eva, you're welcome. All good. Can we get a name with Galaxia Plays, please? Kayla. Wonderful. Yeah, same thing, Kayla. So, like we said, and we said this in an email as well, that the OneNote, when it's busy, it just seems to be too busy for us with webmail. So don't worry about that too much. Just try at a different time. And again, if OneNote's not working, just pop back on your emails and just go through what we've sent through for the day. Yep, wonderful. Cool. So Alicia, we're all sorted. We've got that in there, and that's different. Alicia, yep, Alicia, we're just sending one through. It's mine. My dad made that for me. Beautiful. So Alicia, we're going to put that as the main email that gets sent through. So Alicia, Mr. Crean's going to send something through to you now. So let's see how we go. Eva, if my email is still not working, could you please keep sending it to my mum's? Yeah, sure. No worries, Eva, but we'll get your email working. That's not a problem at all. Mativa on there twice. I know that Chandra is Mativa. Who is Vanilla Gunaseelan? Is that Kieran? Is it Mativa? You're on there twice. Rahi Rahana, that would be Alika. Is it? Can you please send an email with all the study links to my parents? Tazeeb, we're just going to double check your email because that should be coming through of an afternoon.
Yeah, but she wants to study later and stuff. So yeah, I'll send that.
Okay. Was it? Sorry, Tazeeb, can you confirm? Was it study ladder links you want? Is that what you would like?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Just double checking. You probably don't need to, Mativa. You can probably just be here once if you like. Oh, Damien, I'm sorry, mate. That means my head has to be even bigger. Sorry about that, buddy. I can't do much about that. Okay, love the new haircut, mate. It's going well. You missed a bit at the back, though. Yes, and manga high for Tazeeb. I can just put them straight in the chat. Are they just study ladder or what? No worries. Is the study ladder links in OneNote?
Yeah. If they go to the class notes page, so I'd like to know if that actually works. So if you in OneNote, can access OneNote, under your name there is a class notes page, and I put in all of the passwords for that in there. So if somebody can let me know if it's able to be seen, otherwise I'm going to have to send it out differently.
Okay. Lily, yeah, that's your separate Gmail account, Lily, but we're only going to use your webmail account for you guys. And then for mum and dad, we will use whatever we have on file, which is what's been getting sent out to mum. So we don't need that one, your Gmail account. Lily will send it to your webmail account. Yep. Bronwyn, did you send email to my dad? We should have done. Yep, as long as we've got dad's email in here, then that should have gone out. How have some kids finished all their work over the holidays when I just received my kids' work yesterday? Good question, Oxmate. As far as we know, OneNote was only activated,
I think some kids
on the Friday.
A lot of the work we're doing here is connected also to the information that the department sent out before the holidays through the learning place. So if the kids did the learning place materials then they would have done some of those lessons the same. However, we have done a lot of extra through both OneNote and also through our videos, which there's a lot of teaching involved in those video lessons. So even if you've done the worksheets through the learning place that were available over the holidays, I would still advise going to our YouTube lessons. There's a lot of teaching that's going on in those, and so there'd be a lot of benefit there in your learning.
There was a couple of people across the whole grade that managed to get a hold of those and start, but I think for the most part, most people basically left that be or couldn't access those things or they didn't come across their desk. So that's why we've been sending them out as of this week, and most people have been starting from this week. In fact, nearly everybody has been starting from this week.
Somebody wanted password?
No, just the websites. Just websites.
Oh, okay.
Just the links. So Zeeb and those that are looking for links for Study Ladder or Manga High, if you just go to Google and type in Study Ladder or type in Manga High, you should be able to find your way to that pretty quickly. It's pretty straightforward, that one, which is easy. If you're after your passwords for those, you should have already got those, and they will be in. Yeah, that was a OneNote.
They were in OneNote.
Yeah, they were in OneNote as well, but Mr. Cram will be working on sending them out just for, not universally, but just for those who don't have access to it.
So use your EQ password to let us know what you need there, or your EQ webmail.
Yeah, so you log into your webmail, and if you're missing a password, try and remember it first, but if you're missing it, send us an email from yours. And make sure when you're sending emails to us, guys, you send it to Mrs. Noon, Mr. Cran, and myself. So in the to and the CC section, you write all three of our emails, which are in all our emails so far, so that we all get them. So if one of us happens to miss the email, one of us or the other person can answer it. And see, there's nothing in the folders. Yeah, Damien, there's nothing in your folders in OneNote. So you need to go to Content Library, which is above your name when you're in there. So don't go into Damien, go into Content Library and then have a look inside there as well. Let us know.
About the class notes that I said, because on mine I put it on there, but it might have to be something that we keep working on.
Yep, yep. Okay. Should I make a new account or just have that one because I haven't got any emails? That's Alicia. Alicia, just continue to use your school webmail. That's what we're going to start sending everything to. Something has also just come through to the one you provided us not too long ago. Passwords are in OneNote. Passwords are in OneNote. Thanks, Rahana. Yep. Good job. I was told they didn't have to do that work on the learning place, so I bought them the yearbooks. Yeah. And they did a lot of that work. Yeah. Yeah. So you're right, Oxmate, it wasn't. That learning place stuff was not compulsory, and it wasn't actually put out that had to be done. Some people just chose to do it, and it had a bit of crossover from what we were planning on doing at the start of this term anyway. So that's why some of the people have done similar work already. So Damien, when do we do Manga High? You do Manga High where at the end of your maths lessons where Mr. Cran has mapped that out and instructed you to go on with Manga High, or if you are looking for some extra maths work to continue on with, that's what that's there for.
Yeah, for you. I do think one thing with Study Ladder is it's only available between school hours. So you might not be able to do that one out of school hours. I do know that you can log into Study Ladder. They've made it free for students to log in anyway, so you don't necessarily need the schools one. But with the schools one, I have assigned certain tasks that become available for you to use. But again, it's added learning and added opportunity to do some extra work for you. And there's some teaching PowerPoints or teaching videos in there as well that go over concepts that you might find very helpful.
New animation. Typing random stuff. I need it, please. Stay on track. Otherwise, our chat gets clogged up. Bronwyn, sorry. Bronwyn, you said, what is OneNote for? OneNote is for getting our information out to everybody and all our lesson mapping out. But again, don't worry about that too much. Just make sure you can get into your email so you can receive all our lessons for the next day, and then make sure you're on the YouTube channel. That'll map it out for you.
OneNote has all the lessons, so we're sending it out as an email, and we're also putting it on our YouTube channel, but they're in both locations, so you don't need both. One or the other's fine. Azib, I've just sent you through some information through to your parents' email about your passwords for Study Ladder and Manga High.
Azib, you can do OneNote anytime. So it's not only open school hours, all of this stuff is accessible anytime. So the YouTube lessons you can do at 8 o'clock at night if you're not in bed. You can access your emails and get the lessons for the day and do them at 6 o'clock in the morning. You can do it whenever it suits. In fact, that's probably one of the good sides of this is whenever mum and dad are available to give you a hand is the best time to do it, I would say. Alicia, so you're signing into webmail now. Cool. Let us know how you go, Alicia, and let us know if you can find anything in there in the webmail that you're logged into. Alvi, I'm not deleting anything. It's doing it automatically. So there's an automatic moderator in there. So it's picking it up and deleting stuff. So Alicia, yours isn't working. Alicia, did you try your, what's Alicia's? Log in the A Melbourne, is it? Just an email. She's under Melbourne. Did you try AWARR 116 at eq.edu? Is that the one you tried? Davis, we only have one email from SharePoint. Yep, so the one email from SharePoint in the kids account, is that right? For Tapper and Charlie? Because we've been sending other stuff out to a parent's email if we had one on file, but the work will be getting sent out to the kids. So the work will be getting sent out to the children's emails from today. So that's why we're double checking everyone can get in there.
Each of the kids will have their own separate one, but I don't know if they're all activated. It's something that they tend to use more and more as they get higher in school. Most primary schools don't really access them too much, but they are created automatically as soon as the children enrol and have an EQ ID.
Okay, Tazib, will we have assessments this term? Tazib, we will definitely have some sort of assessment. At the moment, we don't need to worry about that, okay? So we will be having things, and when hopefully we're back in action as well, we'll be having some assessments around that. And there'll be certain things that pop up along the way, but we don't need to worry too much about that just yet.
Although the learning you're doing here is working towards those assessments.
Yep, definitely. So they are important for that matter. There's another question in here as well. Okay, Alicia, try your webmail, which is AWARR116 at eq.edu.au. Okay, Charlie, is that you there? Mum has been getting on. Okay.
And yes, for the Oxmate, we can still keep sending it through to the parents' emails, definitely.
How long do we have to spend on school in a day? Is it 6 hours? No, McKenna, it's not 6 hours, unless you're doing 3 hours of mowing the lawn or 3 hours of car washing, which you should be doing. We basically budgeted for something roughly around 3 hours of work. So that's why we've got it broken up in our timetable in the email that we sent to mum and dad, which says roughly an hour, 1 hour lessons a day. But it's very rough. It might take you half an hour. It might take you a little bit longer. Depends on the day, depends on the lesson. So there's not a lot of pressure around that amount of hours.
It's not really practical for you guys to spend that much time as you would at school. You need to have your breaks, but there are other things. Don't forget, reading's really important. You need to be doing reading. But you can go on and do these other things. There's a lot of educational sites out there. And don't forget, Channel 7, I think 7 Plus from next week is also going to be doing lessons educational lessons that they have hooked up with the education department, and I believe that's starting next week.
A couple of quick questions, guys. We're going to wrap up in about 2 minutes. In fact, we're going to wrap up in about 30 seconds.
Who's done it?
Yeah, so that's Alicia. So Alicia, you don't know your webmail password. That's all right. We will send your webmail password to the other email that you just sent us. Yeah, but we don't.
But they all should do that.
Yeah, they should. But we just gave her username, so we don't want to make sure that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you get what
All right.
yeah, so go into the other email that you gave us, Alicia, and we will send your password through to you in there. Thanks for that, McKenna. The passwords are that for everybody. Tazee wants to know hers. Do we still have homework? Kiana, this is your homework. Get into it. I think that's about it. And Bronwyn wants to know what her email is. So Bronwyn and Tazeeb, just the webmail. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up there now. So we're going to send through in the chat quickly now Tazeeb's. Sorry. No, that has their logins in it. Tazeeb. Yeah. So, okay, Tazeeb. Nasu, 0 at. Okay. And the other one was who was the other one? Bronwyn, I think. Yeah, well, Bronwyn. Yeah, Bronwyn. Yours is yeah, Oxmate. When we set out the lessons, they are supposed to be. They're not going to be dated because it's not going to be a specific date all the time. People might not get to them on that particular day. But what we will have, for example, is if you go into the HASS ones and how that's mapped out, it will say subject name, week, week 1, so term 2, week 1, and then the lesson. The reason that we're doing it that way is because essentially we might have somebody at home and it works for them to do the 4 geography lessons on the Tuesday, and so they're going to go through that way. So that's the way we've chosen to go with it. Hopefully that's reasonably straightforward, but we'll make sure that all the lesson taglines and the titles are the same from now on, and we'll make sure we pop them in the playlist. So don't forget to check the playlists as well. We will sort them into subjects and stuff as well. So hopefully that makes it a little bit easier. Sorry, Bronwyn, we're just going to get you your username and then we're going to head off. Guys, if you're heading off there now, thanks very much for checking in. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job, and we'll talk to you all really, really soon.
And we'll keep trying to answer some of the questions
Yeah.
when we review the video for what we have not answered as yet.
Yeah, keep firing those questions through as you need them via email too. Got Bronwyn's in there. Sorry, is she not in here? To Arla. Okay. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you. See you all really soon. Bye-bye.